I'm Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and today I'm going to show you how to roast off a pork loin roast crusted in mushroom dust. Okay, so it's mushroom crusted pork loin roast. How awesome does that sound? You're probably wondering, how on earth am I going to crust this pork loin roast with mushrooms? Well, I'm using dried mushrooms, and what I've done is I've used my little spice grinder to grind up my dried mushroom mix. Now, if you haven't seen me use the dried mushrooms, make sure you check out my review for Royal Command dried mushroom mix, okay? And that's what I'm using today. It has a bunch of different kinds of mushrooms. It looks like some portobellos, it has some wood ear mushrooms, some shiitakes, and some other miscellaneous things in there. So what I've done is I've already busted up probably 2 batches in my spice grinder here, and I'm going to do one more just to get enough of this mushroom dust. Now you can use a food processor, but I think that this little spice grinder has been working a little better for me. Now you want the dust to be nice and fine. It looks just like sawdust, just like dust, and that's the consistency I need it to be. Instead of using breadcrumbs or another kind of rub, this is going to be the coating. That's pretty good. I have just a couple little pieces in here that need to be broken down. Pork and mushrooms go so nicely together, wouldn't you say, Mom? Woo, I love that. Nothing's wrong with mushrooms. Okay, so this is what I've got. This is just this nice, fine mushroom dust, pixie dust. I'm going to season this dust ever so simply. Just salt, pepper, and a little bit of cayenne pepper. Now, I typically would pan fry or sear off each side of this roast in a frying pan and then put it into my oven. However, I'm going to do it a little bit differently tonight because this dust tends to be very delicate and fragile on the outside, although it's very, very tasty, and it ends up turning into a beautiful crust. I'm going to be ever so careful, and I'm going to actually treat this pork loin like I would a turkey at Thanksgiving or Christmas. I'm going to get it on nice high heat, and then I'm going to bring it down to finish. I'm going to just get it nice and browned on the outside, and then we're going to bring it down, let it hang out in the oven for a little while. Now this pork loin roast is about 1.5 pounds. It's a half of a giant one that I got. So I think that's all we need for tonight. Mix that through. Ooh, mummy. Have you never seen me do this before?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah?
It's gonna be great.
These mushrooms turned out beautiful in there. Sometimes it's very difficult to bust up these mushrooms, depending upon how wet or dry they are in that little container. Sometimes they're just a little bit moist, and if they are, if you find it's hard to get it broken down, put them in the oven on a cookie sheet on low for, you know, a little while and just dry them suckers out. Okay, so let's get going. Mom wants me to put it on this frying pan, which has just a little bit of olive oil at the bottom so it doesn't stick, okay? I'm just gonna get it just a little bit warm before this goes in. So now I'm just going to coat it, I'm gonna dredge it like I would anything else, okay? And we'll go with this. It's gonna stick on there because the meat is slightly moist already, just because it's like that, right? I'm actually going to slice the top of this first. Score it?
Yep. It's a nice piece of meat there. Beautiful little roast. Just perfect.
It's 1.5 pounds. Doesn't it look like it's a little bigger than that?
It does.
But it's not. So I have this fat layer on the top, and you really want to enjoy that. That needs to be on the top of your meat so it all oozes down into your meat and keeps it nice and moist. Okay, so I'm just gonna score it, not all the way through to the meat. I just wanna get close to the meat, but you wanna cut into this fat. That allows it to render a little easier. Plus, it allows all these beautiful flavors to jump in there.
Yeah, they'll just sink right in there and really flavor the meat.
You want to use a very sharp knife and just drag it along. Plus, it gives a nice little decoration at the end, you know? It looks pretty. Okay, we're ready to go. So here's how it's been scored. Hopefully you guys can see that in the light. There you go. There you go. Now, dredge this in the mushroom dust. Pixie dust. Look at how that covers up. Nice.
Oh, that's
right?
great. Yeah.
You want every nook and cranny covered with this beautiful flavored mushroom stuff. Who doesn't like mushrooms? I don't know. I don't understand those people.
We love mushrooms.
Mushrooms can go in breakfast, lunch, dinner. Maybe not dessert. I don't know. Make sure you get it all in there. All in those little scores that you just made on the top. all along the sides, top, bottom.
It smells so good.
Very earthy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Get it all in there, nice.
That roast never had it so good.
I would say I have at least about a cup of mushroom dust here. Wouldn't you say that? Maybe a cup and a half.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna have some left over. So I guess you didn't even need that much, but I didn't want to underdo it and be
You
stuck.
might want to sprinkle some more on there later once it starts roasting.
That's right.
I never throw it out anyway.
No?
No, I mean, I do throw it out if it's left over till the next day, but I always keep it while it's
just in case?
while it's roasting, in case I need a few more.
You never know what you need, right? Plus, this is very nice to put in a gravy.
Yep.
Not only would it thicken up the gravy, but it would give an unbelievable taste.
And that's what it's all about. Food is all about flavor.
That's right.
Flavor, flavor, flavor.
That's right. I think we're good here. I just want to be really nice and thorough. See how this would come off in a frying pan after manipulating it with the tongs and stuff. All right, so make sure you have that fat side up in your pan.
Yeah, it's hard to remember because it's so coated.
Yes, it is. Looks nice. Let me wash my hands and then I'll show it to them. You know what? I think I had just enough. Just shove it all in here.
It's the instinct of the chef.
There you go. I like to eyeball. I mean, that's all I know what to do. My mom taught me that. Okay, my pan is nice and hot now. Just ready for the oven. I'll show this roast to you. I'm gonna pick it up like this for you. There you go. So that's all crusted in mushroom dust. I mean, really? This is a special birthday meal that we're doing tonight? So this is fancy schmancy. Okay. My oven is preheated to 425 degrees. Now I know you're like, wow, that's hot. Don't worry. It's only gonna go in there for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna assess, maybe it'll take another 2 minutes. I just wanna get a nice brownness on the outside. Then I'll turn it down and cover it up a little bit with a nice aluminum foil tin. All right, so into the oven it goes. Look at that. I can't wait.
Beautiful. That frying pan has a nice big handle on it. It's just perfect for roasting.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so that's gonna take a while. Now, 425 for about 5 to 7 minutes. Then we're gonna turn it down to 350 degrees, and it's probably gonna take about an hour, hour and a half to finish that big piece of meat. In the meantime, we're gonna be making some roasted potatoes.
Yes.
And we're gonna make some beautiful, maybe some stuffed portobello mushrooms. So make sure you check out those shows, how to roast potatoes and how to make stuffed portobello mushrooms.
It's gonna be great.
I know, right?
You're gonna love it.
So I'm gonna bring this back out maybe in about 5-7 minutes so you can see what I'm talking about, and then I'll bring it out halfway through for you to see. Okay? Ooh, right, mommy. Perfect. This is what we want. Boy, that's heavy. I need another. It's browned on the top. It's exactly what I want. Man, that smells unbelievable. Smell this.
I wish you could smell those mushrooms.
Oh yeah. Now I gotta pick this up quick because it's hot. I need to turn this down to 350 degrees.
Yep.
And now I'm gonna show it to you. This is what I want. I want it just browned. I don't want it burning. It's not all moist yet, but it will. It'll be all moist and beautiful and brown on that crust. And back in the oven, I'm gonna put it in just a couple minutes to make sure that that heat has come down a little bit. All right, Mom. Back in the oven it goes, and we're gonna show you probably in another 30 minutes or so. Make sure you check it in about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes, and cover it with a tent if you feel like it's getting just too brown, okay? We'll be back in a little while. Here is our pork loin roast. We're about halfway through. I'd say it's been in there about 30 minutes. Doesn't that look awesome?
Beautiful.
The smell is so luscious. Careful, super hot, Mommy. So good.
So good. Got all nice little crunchy bits there on the bottom.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Lovely.
Now these crunchy bits are gonna make great gravy, so sit tight for that probably. I don't know if we'll show it to you, but here, look at that. Doesn't that look awesome? It looks like it's perfect now. What I'm going to do, just to make things easier for us to do, is I'm gonna put our meat thermometer in now.
It's a good idea.
We're looking for an internal temperature of, well, the government will tell you 170 degrees, but you can get away with just slightly underneath that. That's for beginners. That's for people to make sure that that is
So
done. Now we're putting our meat thermometer in just to see what's going on. This is for ease of use for later, so that you don't have to poke into it and create a hole and let all the juices run out. Now this is going right back in there. Cover it up with your little tent and back in for probably another 30 minutes. Okay, this meat is ready. Oh yeah. This is the crust we want. Like I said, this is the crust we want. Don't remove your thermometer yet. Don't do that because it's gonna let all that beautiful juice and moisture that you have inside of it run right out. It's gonna leak out. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna cover it up with a very loose tent. I let this go in the oven for the last 10 minutes uncovered just to make sure it crisped up nicely. Cover it with that loose tent. Now this is going to increase in temperature slightly, maybe even up to 5 degrees, okay? So if you cook it to 165 or 162 or 60, it'll go up to another 5 degrees, and really finish that off, even just sitting outside of the oven. We'll see you, we're gonna carve that up in about 10 minutes. Okay, Mom, we're ready. It's been about 10 minutes. All right, let's take off this nice foil. It stayed nice and hot in this pan. The pan has cooled quite a bit, so you can maneuver it a little bit. And we need to get this out of here. First things first, let's get the thermometer out.
Yes.
There should be much less pan juice or roast juice squirting out because it's not all furious and, you know, going so hot right now. It's cooled down and all those juices stayed in. We don't want that to all to leak out. You want it to stay in those tissues. Okay, now we're gonna move this off of here for you, Mom. And out of the pan. Look at that roast. Look at this roast. Goodness. If you want to, at this point, you can make a great pan gravy. Look at that roast. That is just divine. I can't wait to eat this thing. Let's do this. All right, let's really do it this time. There you go, Mommy. Please do the honors if you would. Lovely. You excited, Mom? Oh, this is awesome. It's perfect. I want that end piece because it has the mushroom. Look at this mushroom crust. Look at that. It's just stayed on there so nice. This is so moist and juicy. I can just see all this moistness. Look at this. I'm gonna eat this.
It's just glistening. It's so perfectly cooked.
Oh, Mom. You need to try this. It's perfectly roasted.
This little piece right
here. It's perfectly roasted. It is just glistening, like Mom said. There's so much moisture in here. It is nice and tender. This mushroom dust,
it's so tasty.
oh man, it's unbelievable. My hair fell down. Look at that. Really? I don't think we could have made it any better today.
No, it's so perfectly cooked.
And it's a great job that we didn't pan sear it because all that beautiful crust that you want on there would have been gone. Mom, that's so good. I need a napkin.
There's no way you could improve on this. It's so good. Okay. Really, really good. And I don't know about you, but I don't mind with the pork roast if there's a little bit of crusty fat because that is so tasty.
The fat is especially good on this. You have that hard, nice little mushroom crust, and the fat is just melt in your mouth. Like, it's not non-offensive. It's so delicious. I'm gonna show this to you because it's just too pretty in my direction here to not show you. Oh man, look at this roast. Look at this, all this juice. Come on, man, you want that. This whole entire dinner is absolutely stellar. Why don't we plate a whole plate up and show them? Okay, would you do the honors of that? Let's grab a couple potatoes here. And this gorgeous bacon stuffed portobello mushroom topped with mozzarella cheese. These are Mom's extra famous in my book. Pan roasted potatoes, my favorite potatoes that my mom makes me, and this mushroom crusted pork loin roast. This is a winning dinner. It's unreal. Happy birthday to, our special friend, and this is what we're eating tonight. It's the bomb. All right, you need to try this. Anyway, check out Mom's website at ingridturnertoday.com. Follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim E with a capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly and youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly. And my site is cookingwithkimberly.com. That's it, that's all. Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Mom, it's the bomb.
I know. It's so great.